This Thing On is the brand new movie that will hit theaters in mid-December. This film is directed by Bradley Cooper. This is his third film after 2018's A Star is Born, as well as Maestro. Cooper also serves as a co-writer on this movie alongside his star, Will Arnett, who writes this movie, has a story and a screenplay credit, as well as stars in the movie as Alex Novak, someone who is going through in the middle of a mutual divorce with his wife, Tess, in this movie played by Laura Dern. Both mutually agree that they are growing apart from each other and both try to cope balancing their children's lives, their family lives, and their personal lives separate from each other. For Alex, he does get a niche for stand-up comedy and uses it as a therapeutic way to get through his divorce. Alex and Tess also have great couple best friends who they hang out with throughout the film. The first one is Christine and Balls, who are played by Andra Day and Bradley Cooper, as well as Steven, who's also played by Sean Hayes. But Alex and Tess start to discover that maybe they're good for each other, maybe they're not good for each other, as they learn throughout this movie. The film is 2 hours and 8 minutes long and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here in Max Talks Movies. My name is Max, and we're talking Is This Thing On? So if you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, added feature reactions, movie franchise rankings. I break down the box office. I'm breaking down award season. So if you like any one of those things, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts, guys, on Is This Thing On? I know the movie doesn't come out until December 19th, but are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? Do you like Cooper's prior to directorial efforts? Do you think you should stick to acting? Love to hear your thoughts on this movie if you have or haven't seen it down in the comment section down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I do want to say I was very fortunate enough to see this movie at an early screening. This movie did debut at the New York Film Festival, but basically this week they're giving a lot of time for critics to be able to see this movie a month away from its release here in the States. Wide release. So I was very fortunate enough. I was very excited for this movie. Then I got the email that I'm going to the screening. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's helping me now go to so many more screenings now. I'm going to two more next week. So the more you guys help support the channel, the more I'll be able to get to go to screenings like this. And let's get my thoughts on Is This Thing On? And I just want to say right off the bat that I absolutely adore this movie. I loved this movie, honestly, from start to finish. And Bradley Cooper is a filmmaker that I have loved or liked both his first two movies. I was a really big fan of A Star is Born. Really thought he should have won an Oscar for Best Actor that year. Really liked him. Really, I enjoyed Maestro. I thought it was a good movie, not a great movie, but you could still see the talents, both obviously in front of the camera, but also behind the camera with Cooper on both those projects. And this is a very different movie than his first two films from a filmmaking perspective because A Star is Born, yes, there are conversation moments in the movie, but it's a lot more epic with a lot more huge concert scenes and a lot of huge set pieces. And then you have such an operatic film in Maestro, where a lot of it's just make great the huge scale of someone in Leonard Bernstein's shoes as a composer. And this is a much more, I think it's easily his most intimate movie. Where yes, there's these, obviously Will Arnett's character goes on stage and does stand-up comedy throughout the movie, but a lot of it is just conversations and talking things out. And before I get into the performances, the thing that I just love and so impressed with Bradley Cooper behind the camera is he makes this movie, in my opinion, really dynamic from a filmmaking, cinematography, and just the way the movie looks perspective because this is an easy movie to kind of just be behind the camera, have such a still shot, and just cut back and forth between two actors having the same conversation. Most 95% of movies like this direct themselves like that, where conversation, let's cut this, and the camera just doesn't move. And at times that can be quite boring, even if the conversations are interesting, if the camera isn't dynamic or moving around, not frantically, but just calmly moving around. And I think one of the more understated parts of the movie is Cooper's direction because there are so many times where people are having these one-on-one conversations and Cooper is moving around as the conversation is going. If someone mentions something in particular, the camera zooms in, even in the middle of this conversation. And I just think it gives the film more energy. Where even if characters are just sitting on a bed talking, it's not just cut, 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 cut as each two characters are talking. He's actually moving the camera, giving the room some space. And obviously, the characters are trying to give themselves some space as well. So I really enjoyed Cooper because I think people are not going to give him as much credit filmmaking wise, directing for this movie because it's not as flashy as A Star is Born or Maestro from a direction perspective. But I just really love the understated filmmaking that was going on here with Cooper. But Will Arnett is fantastic in this movie, and this is going to be a very relatable movie because I think we do get a lot of movies where there is divorce, there is marriages involved. I just think this movie handles it in such a beautiful and authentic way where it's not crapping on people that are divorced. It's not crapping on people who are married. I think this movie brings up a lot of just really nice themes where how rare truly it is to find that companion and to find someone who is your life partner. And Will Arnett's learning that through his parents, who are also in this movie played by Kieran Hines and Christine Ebersole, who are both excellent in the movie as well. How he always tries to compare his relationships to his parents' relationship. And he's looking at his friend group, which is two other couples. And they seem like the perfect couple. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes that's not the case. And I think this movie does a really good job showing the positives and sometimes the negatives of being in a relationship, the ups and downs. Is it worth staying someone if they're only there just to be happy? Sometimes you just need to be sad together in those moments. And as someone who can't obviously relate to most of the things, I haven't been in a relationship like Will Arnett and Laura Dern's characters, where they've been married for 26 years and they're growing apart from each other. But I found this to be a really beautiful movie, which again didn't attack either character, didn't attack marriage or relationships, just gave an authentic, raw take on what I think a lot of people go through in relationships. But Arnett is terrific because obviously he's just known for comedy acting. And obviously, when Arnett needs to be funny, he is quite funny in this movie. But it is an emotional performance. And a lot of the performance, because the way Cooper shoots things, are just with facial motions, especially with Laura Dern's character. And both performances are terrific. But Arnett can get quite emotional. And you just really feel for him where you're kind of rooting him on as the movie goes on, but also not like you're rooting against Laura Dern, and she is also just terrific in this movie. There's a scene where she's at the club watching Arnett do the stand-up, even though he does not know that she is there, and the camera is just showing Laura Dern's facial reaction to Alex's stand-up routine, and it is just a jaw-dropping performance. It just shows you not every great performance needs dialogue sometimes in scenes. Laura Dern proves that just by looking and her emotion and her eyes and her face, you can convey such emotion. And Dern is also terrific. Her and Arnett have unbelievable chemistry. From the side, I'm a big fan of Andra Day. Think she's a very solid actress as well. Bradley Cooper, who I think some people are not going to like because it's the director acting in his own movie. But I think he's honestly the funniest part of the movie. And while not just is he the funniest part of this movie, but he has a very key friendship with Alex, because Bradley Cooper's character, named Balls, I'm not even joking, is also going through kind of a tough time with his wife, Christine, who's played by Andra Day. And they're both kind of trying to be inspired by each other, by the decisions that they are making and what they're learning from each other, how that helps or doesn't help each other. I think it's a very moving friendship as the movie goes along. But overall, I just think it's such a sweet movie. That again, so many divorce movies, it's always about, this person's in the wrong, or this person's in the wrong, or screw this person, or I'm just rooting in for this person. And this movie never does that. It makes you completely understand Tess and Alex's perspectives, why they're good for each other, why at times they maybe need some space from each other, but also why they are very important to each other. And if the way they're handling their families, the way they're handling each other, have the space to do what they want in their lives. I just found this movie to be really authentic, very relatable, and honestly, one of the most touching experiences I've had in movies all year long. Now, there's one major negative that I do have with the movie. There is a big cameo that I'll say that plays a character who plays a character in one particular sequence at the club with Laura Dern's character, and it kind of pulled me out of the movie. Not that the performance was bad, but the person that they cast, who's not an actor, who has to play this role, I'll just say that I'm not going to spoil who the cameo was. It just a bit pulled me out of this scene that he was having with Laura Dern. The moment that they went downstairs to the stand-up comedy room, that was kind of gone. But as this person's having the conversation with Laura Dern, I just wasn't totally invested because I saw the person more than the character in that particular scene. So I thought they could have casted anyone for that role, and they casted someone who I thought distracted from the overall movie. And sometimes, yes, this movie can be quite overly, I guess, preachy. But honestly, guys, I think this is easily one of the best movies of 2025. This movie is, for me, is too good that it probably won't even be nominated for much in awards season. It's a breathtaking movie. It's a very funny movie, heartwarming movie, kind of all wrapped in one. So overall, I'm going to give Is This Thing On a 4.5 out of 5, guys. I am going to go a pretty strong grade here, 93% for Is This Thing On. Let me know your thoughts on this movie, guys, down in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.